The truth, Tinubu, the truth about Tinubu must be told. Dele Momodu says, welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. Please subscribe to our channel. To get notified when we post hot juicy news updates, please click on the notification bell. Fellow Nigerians, once again, this is not the best of times in our dear beloved country, Nigeria. After we had thought gladly and gleefully that no government could be worse than the recent Buhari administration, we are now confronted by yet another monstrosity. In less than 2 months in power, Tinubu's government started collapsing whatever positive legacy Buhari left behind. Yet, we would have assumed and expected the President Bola Tinubu to be far better and prepared and more visionary than Buhari and his lackluster team was. Unfortunately, this has not been the case. While I'm not about to give an overview of Tinubu's wobbly stewardship so far and so soon, I'm constrained to put my thoughts and unequivocal opinion on the ongoing Tinubu Gate on paper. I'm doing this in my personal capacity as a Nigerian citizen and as a true and truthful friend of Tinubu. I believe only a true friend can look you straight, eyeballs to eyeballs at the face, and tell one of the world's most powerful men the gospel truth. I have no doubt in my mind that the majority of the Tinubu's so-called friends and ubiquitous hangers-on are pretentious hypocrites. Tinubu also has not helped himself by encouraging both rulers and puppets alike to worship at his feet and turning him into a demigod. I am convinced that they serve him no useful purpose. I will establish this fact in a minute. The Tinubu Gate did not begin yesterday. It started after Tinubu returned from exile and metamorphosed into the governor of Lagos State in 1999 and instantly became the biggest beneficiary of all our epic battles in exile during the Nadeko days. In all honesty, we were all happy that it was amply compensated for his solitary efforts. But unknown to us, trouble was brewing. We did not know how or what led the legal luminary chief Gani Fawahimi to exhume all manner of false declaration contained in the forms submitted for Tinubu's gubernatorial bid. On October 11, 1999, just months after Tinubu contested and won his election, Chief Fawahimi's powerful interview was published on the cover of Newswatch magazine with a screaming headline, "Why Tinubu Must Go." Gani Fawahimi, the fearless lawyer, also granted another interview on the cover of the Source magazine with an even more acerbic headline, "Tinubu is a criminal." Gani and a rider below deserves 10 years in jail. On top of the same magazine was published a worrisome story, the Tinubu story, the Source on that threat. This was the first telltale sign of the new and toxic Lagos state to come, a Lagos of one man, one permanent ruler, reminiscent of a Sicilian mafia, which he privately rechristened the Cosa Nostra of Nigeria. Some members of our community confraternity were naturally alarmed, but we were somehow timid and thus carelessly dismissed Gani's case as at the very best alarmist and unnecessary meddlesome. A few of us who were very close to Gani Fawahimi knew it would be difficult and of no effect to approach him and try to persuade him to drop the case. The other sad revelation was when some of Tinubu's commissioners started fretting and sweating profusely. God is my witness. Many of them, out of panic about the imminent impeachment of Tinubu, were stylishly dissociating themselves from their boss. We heard all kinds of gibberish from some of them who are even in government today. We brought our integrity into this government. We cannot allow anyone to tarnish it. Let us digress a little. One of them, extremely close to Tinubu, was the first to tell us about the falsification of Tinubu's age, the identity of his original parents from Iraq, his forged academic records, and so on. This chain smoker claimed absolute knowledge of Tinubu's life. He told us in my Accra home that anyone who tells Tinubu the truth is instantly marked down as an enemy. So he has stopped telling him the truth. With this kind of mindset, you can imagine what quality of advice Tinubu gets regularly. Then, out of the blues, my very darling and loyal friend Tokumbo Afikunyomi added to the bite the bullet on behalf of Tinubu. What he did was reminiscent of the Lamb of God who took away the sins of the earth. He, like a Kamaki soldier, took absolute responsibility for the errors contained in Tinubu's file. Miraculously, Tinubu was saved, and we were all relieved. Everyone is asking me, how has Tinubu compensated Afikunyomi? And my answer is, I do not know. It is noteworthy that Festus Keyamo had jumped on the bandwagon of those seeking to impeach Tinubu at that time. This is another story for another day. I cannot wait for my memos to be ready in order to put names and faces to the main dramatis personae. Let's now fast forward to the year 2002. There was a popular magazine known as The Week. It planned the cover story on Tinubu. Somehow, the story leaked out to the then governor of Lagos State. Tinubu immediately and with automatic alacrity reached out to the publisher of the magazine, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and pleaded that the scandalous story should be dropped. Out of love and respect for his friend, Atiku reached out to the Week magazine and got the story to be stepped down. The editors were miffed by this development, and in the aftermath led to the resignation and exit of the editor, Mr. Simon Kolawole. The meat of my episode today is that there are many didactic lessons to pick from this Tinubu gate. Tinubu eventually left office in 2007, but he never really left Lagos alone. He became Nigeria's ultimate godfather, who determined almost to the pin who gets what. Many of his accolades knew he was capable of turning them into emergency billionaires and were ready to stand remote on his mandate. This, I believe, is the crux of the matter. Now, why do I blame Tinubu and his die-hard fans? Two major reasons are carelessness, or is it negligence, and recklessness. Well, the man who left office in 2007, 16 long years ago, failed to clean up the record that nearly got him impeached in the first instance, and even given the fact that he could not have personally handled those documents himself, why did the hosts of millions claiming to love him till eternity fail to deliver a world-class file for his documents? The laws of Nigeria never insisted that the presidential candidate must attend a university. In the last 16 years, Tinubu should have ensured his personal documents were thoroughly checked to be squeaky clean before submitting them to INEC. If necessary, he could have easily gone back to school. Atiku still went to school recently to update and upgrade himself and try to erase all the previous controversial details. As for his conflicting dates of birth, he should have settled for a preferred birthday date like President Olusegun Obasanjo did. It can never be a crime that a child's parent did not obtain his birth certificate. As for claiming to have worked for Deloitte and others, he should have limited himself to, I worked for big multinationals globally and they truly enjoyed my services and valued my contributions, without mentioning specific companies and dates. As for parentage, I would have told the world my humble background and poor parentage. It is nothing to be ashamed of, and it is not a crime to be adopted and acquire the name of one's foster parent. Everyone knew how Chief M.K. Abiola played the role of a father figure in my life, including traveling all the way to Ijebu and Ijebu-Ode for my wedding in 1992, but that never stopped me from celebrating my poor parent. And if there were peculiar reasons for obliterating one's original family history, that can be easily explained. A public figure cannot afford to keep too many secrets for far too long. Tinubu has blatantly refused to open up his private life to members of the public. The repercussions of this stiffness have been hugely calamitous to him and his immediate family. With more openness, this could have been avoided. Exactly. My point in all of this is why I'm saying Tinubu, among all the contestants in the 2023 election, he was supposed to be the most prepared, but he was the least. And that is why a part of me is really angry. It's really angry, and people unfortunately did not see this coming. Alright, on this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy.